As the city's rhythms return, its energy beckons. A life where pleasures and connections punctuate each day. Where masters practice their craft, creating wonder and memories alike. In a city where details matter and where moments are made. Let's celebrate the return of our most cherished rituals and embrace the people whose passion is the lifeblood of our city. Stay close, go further. It's time to rediscover your Melbourne.
We're thinking of doing a day trip while we're here. Is there anywhere kind of new to go? How many days have you got?
Some of the best winemaking conditions on earth are found in Australia. You are never far from a world-class wine region in this amazingly diverse terrain. With several climates across the country, Australian wines show varied complexities and characters. Here's our guide to help you uncover some of the top winery experiences across the country. Some of the most elegant wines are produced in Western Australia. 3 hours south of Perth is the Margaret River region, which is the most famous wine region of the state. Cullen Wines is the first vineyard and winery in Australia to be certified carbon neutral. The winery produces long-lived wines of high individual style, and their spectacular Cullen restaurant overlooks the historic vineyard. Try the 17 Cullen Diana Madeline. With exports to more than 30 international markets, the family-owned Lewin Estate is renowned for its produce and its staging of spectacular events that welcomes visitors from around the world. The art gallery also boasts more than 1,000 paintings from Australian artists. Along with a celebrated restaurant, they offer a behind-the-scenes tour departing daily. Try the 2015 Art Series Chardonnay. Established in 1967, Vas Felix is the founding wine estate of the Margaret River region. Sample the wines a la carte at the Cellar Door Tasting Bar, Visit the art gallery and the dedicated wine museum called The Vault to enhance your wine tasting experience. Try the first red wine produced in the area, the Vas Felix Cabernet Sauvignon. Located only 25 minutes from Perth, discover up to 40 wineries, cideries, distilleries, and 6 boutique breweries in the Swan Valley area. This winery offers hop-on, hop-off tours, which allow you to personalise your tour to your own taste. Known for its fine dining restaurant, Wild Swan Mandoon is also home to Homestead Brewery, WA's newest craft brewery, offering a selection of unique ciders and beers. Situated on the banks of the Swan River, there are a range of experiences you can choose from, including private tours, river cruises, bush tucker tasting, and scenic chopper flights. Try the 2012 Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon, as well as the 2011 Reserve Shiraz. Sandalford in Swan Valley was established in 1840, making this estate one of the oldest winemakers in Western Australia. They created a large range of wines under a variety of labels. Also to be enjoyed are the grand open fire and fresh regional produce in the estate's award-winning restaurant, which includes al fresco dining beneath the 125-year-old vines. There is also a lovely souvenir store with local art and a great variety of gift ideas. Taste the Prendyville Reserve Margaret River Cabernet Sauvignon and the Shiraz and Chardonnay, which are regarded as WA's iconic wines. It is no surprise that South Australia has been officially named as one of the 9 great wine capitals of the world. It is home to 18 wine regions. There are over 80 cellar doors in the Barossa Valley area. You can also find sumptuous food, opulent accommodation, and 5-star retreats. The area's Mediterranean climate makes Barossa's Cabernets and Shirazes unbeatable in taste and flavour. The grounds of this estate are vast and beautiful. Take a walk or a bike ride between the vineyards. Visitors can enjoy a tour of its 14 grape varieties. The estate also has a restaurant which offers sweeping views of the hills and the vineyards. Try a limited edition wine which is sold exclusively at the cellar door. Seppeltsfield was established just 15 years after the European settlement of South Australia in 1851. Their heritage tours allow you to explore the estate's historic buildings. You can experience the VIP mezzanine lounge for a private and luxury tasting, or taste tawny made in your birth year, directly from the barrel. They are popular for their 1919 Para Vintage Tawny from the Centennial Collection. This is a family-owned business since 1847 and has a wonderful restaurant, St. Hugo, where wines are expertly paired to accompany the menu. On arrival, visitors will be welcomed by a spectacularly unique estate surrounded by 50-year-old cork trees. Must-try wines include the Shiraz or Cabernet Sauvignon from the private collection that is sold exclusively at St. Hugo. The McLaren Vale region is 45 minutes south of Adelaide. It is home to world-class wines and a plethora of culinary experiences. The winery is best known for Shiraz, but also produces ultra-premium Grenache and Cabernet. Famous for its organic wines, free from systemic chemicals and pesticides, Wira Wira has an all-natural approach and is well known for its much-acclaimed Churchbock label. Wines you can try include the Amateur range, which is exclusively available at the cellar door. Gem Tree wines are free from herbicides and pesticides. All their wines are certified biodynamic and organic. Learn all about these terminologies on your tour of the property. Amongst their popular wines is their 2016 Obsidian Shiraz. Jarenberg Cube is a top spot for wine tasting as it sits in an architectural anomaly within the vines of the beautiful McLaren Vale. It has 5 levels with interesting experiences that will excite the senses, including the wine sensory room, a virtual fermenter, and a 360-degree video room. Make sure to visit the Alternative Realities Museum while you're here and view the many art installations on display. Any wine lover can try the 2012 Single Vineyard Shiraz. The Adelaide Hills region is diverse in terms of climate, soil, and topography. Located east of Adelaide, it is a narrow band approximately 70 kilometres long. The region boasts over 90 wine labels and 50 cellar doors, and is the closest wine region to the CBD of Adelaide. Vineyards in this area are small and steep, so hand-picking and pruning is often a necessity, but can also be a choice. Sean and Smith own 2 vineyards in the hills, Valhalla and Lenswood. The most well-known varieties are Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Shiraz. All grapes are hand-picked and the wines are fermented, aged, and bottled on site. Amongst the many popular wines to try are the 2019 Shaw Smith Sauvignon Blanc or the 2018 Shaw & Smith M3 Chardonnay. Penfolds has 175 years of history and is one of Australia's most renowned wine brands. Located only 15 minutes from Adelaide, you can visit the underground tunnels, Grange Cottage, and heritage-listed Bluestone Cellars and Stillhouse. If you visit, the 2016 Barossa Valley Shiraz Coonawarra Cabernet Sauvignon is a must-try. The Coonawarra region is well regarded as the top producer of Australia's premium red wines. Not only will you find wonderful reds in the area, but it is recommended you try the local produce, including pickled walnuts, medwurst, honey, lobsters, and Wagyu beef. The DiGiorgio family wines is the second oldest winery in the district. With gnarly old vines that are over 100 years old, they have an extensive selection of premium wines, plus delicious olive oils and a fabulous range of local cheeses. They are known for the 2010 Coonawarra Fortified Shiraz. Victoria has more than 800 wineries and 600 cellar doors across 5 outstanding regions. The perfect grape style to suit every palate can be found here. The Yarra Valley region is the state's oldest growing region and is situated east of Melbourne. Although the area is 170 years old with their first grapes planted in 1838, the area is known for its revolutionary winemakers. It is only 1 hour from Melbourne CBD, making it a lovely day trip if you're staying in the city. However, with the plethora of cafes, amazing restaurants, and world-class wines on offer, one day is often just not enough. A contemporary estate that opened in 2013, Oak Ridge Winery is an architectural masterpiece, with its striking and sleek industrial lines that contrast with the surrounding vines. Enjoy lunch at the Hatted restaurant Oak Ridge, where chefs Matt Stone and Joe Barrett use fresh ingredients from the garden to serve an exciting seasonal menu. Popular wines you can try include Semillon, Chardonnay, or Pinot Gris. There is no doubt that De Bortoli is one of Australia's iconic wine producers. Established in 1926 by Italian immigrant Vittorio De Bortoli, the De Bortoli family has continued the philosophy of sharing good wine, good food, and good times. Wines you can try include the De Bortoli Noble One and premium Yarra Valley Estates wines. Charming pastures and rolling hills are abundant in the beautiful and unspoilt Mornington Peninsula. Located an hour south of Melbourne, you can enjoy the pristine beaches and green hinterland, as well as more than 50 boutique cellar doors, along with renowned Pinot Noir. 10 minutes by tractor are 3 family-owned vineyards which, as the name suggests, are all 10 minutes apart by tractor. Their passion is great wine and great food, and they opened the restaurant in 2006, creating a memorable experience with views over the vineyards and the rolling hills of Main Ridge. You can choose from the concise tasting menu or the seasonal tasting menu. The wine list is extensive but focused on key varietals growing in the region, such as the Chardonnay, Pinot Gris, and Pinot Noir. Popular wines here include the Pinot Noir. Home to single vineyard, hand-harvested wine, PT Leo Estate is a visual feast with rolling vineyards, ocean views, and an outdoor art gallery with 60 works in various sizes. Visitors can also catch glimpses of Phillip Island across the 50-acre vineyard. Wines to try include the 2018 Pinot Gris or the 2018 Chardonnay. The Hunter Valley is the oldest wine region in Australia. Situated 3 hours drive from Sydney, it offers more than 150 wineries, plenty of restaurants, and kangaroo sightings across sweeping landscapes. Tyrrell's Wines is a perfect choice to learn about the history of winemaking in the region and is one of the most popular family-owned wineries in the Hunter Valley. You can enjoy stunning views of the Broken Back Range, as well as a private wine tasting tour or behind-the-scenes tours to learn about the fascinating history of this 5-generation family vineyard. Must-tries when you visit are the award-winning Semillon, Shiraz, and Chardonnay. Brokenwood is a 5-star winery that offers soil-to-cellar experiences. The new stunning cellar door is 1,400 square metres and is the largest complex in the Hunter Valley. Along with a wine museum which overlooks the working barrel hall, you can enjoy expansive views over the valley from the outdoor terrace or experience the unique circular tasting pods. Popular wines here include the Graveyard Vineyard Shiraz, which is part of the soil to cellar experience. Audrey Wilkinson Winery would have to be the most picturesque winery in the Hunter Valley. Don't forget to stop in at the Free Museum, which has various barrel and winemaking tools on display, along with the Wilkinson family history and heritage awarded original open cement vats. Wines you can try here include the interesting Gewürztraminer. Orange is less than 4 hours drive from Sydney and has established itself as one of Australia's gourmet food and wine destinations, with its lovely cool climate. Both critics and wine lovers acknowledge that the elevation and geology mark the area as rather special. There are now 60 vineyards and wineries in the area. Set amongst picturesque rolling hills, you will truly love Heifer Station's single vineyard. The estate is a rustic converted sheep shearing shed with a fantastic vibe and funky interior, offering much old school charm. Complete with a petting farm for the kids to enjoy, this is a wonderful spot to sit outside with the family on a sunny day and enjoy lunch. Intimate vineyard tours are on offer. Be sure to book ahead, this is a popular choice. Their newest wine to sample is Janice à la Third Australis Chardonnay Pinot Sparkling. Tasmania is home to a number of regions that produce a range of wine styles. Each of the areas offer different tourism experiences. Tasmania has a mild summer and long autumn days, which are perfect for making cool climate wine. Bay of Fires Winery has one of the prettiest tasting rooms in Australia, with its floor-to-ceiling windows which look across 20 hectares of rolling vineyards and native forest. Try the Arras Premium Sparkling Wine. Joseph Cromie Wines has a state-of-the-art winery at the base of a vineyard at Relbia, just south of Launceston. With a stunning restaurant overlooking the picturesque vineyard, winery and lake, The Lakeside Pavilion is the perfect location to enjoy a meal of quality at this one-hatted restaurant. They are known for their Pinot Noir. Regardless of your palate or your wine tasting experience, there is a cellar door to suit you in Australia.
We were thinking of doing a day trip while we're here. Anywhere kind of new to go?
Anywhere in particular?
Maybe a winery?
Or a brewery, distillery.
Maybe a wellness spa?
Any thoughts?
A couple.
Not too far from where you are, there's a place where mountains rise and nature's bounty abounds, where soul, soil and hands unite to craft a rare magic. The kind of magic you won't find anywhere else, where each season fills your senses with the promise to reconnect, and life's simplest pleasures bubble to the surface. Look again. Not too far. Can you see? Stay close. Go further.
You've got so much to work with in the Yarra Valley, but what makes your winemaking approach really unique?
I love tasting soils in wine. It sounds like the most absurd thing, but the subtle nuances that are just so minute can have such a profound effect on the final wine. Cheers.
Just an hour in the car, northeast of Melbourne, the city gives way to the rolling hills of the Yarra Valley. Dating back 170 years, it's not only one of Victoria's first winemaking regions, it's also one of the country's best.
Hi Sophia, welcome to the Yarra Valley.
Thanks so much, Mac. Who's this?
This is Cleo, she's my number one helper.
Number one helper, and where are we in the Yarra Valley exactly?
We are on the southern end in Gladysdale.
So what actually grows in the Yarra Valley?
So you've got the hills behind us, what we call Upper Yarra. Beautiful, much cooler, slightly more rainfall, really suited to Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, one of the champagne grape varieties. The region is so big and diverse. It's easily, for me, one of the most exciting regions in the country, if not the world right now.
It's really green and wild. Why is that?
We have this amazing amount of growth under vine and in the mid-rows that we want to celebrate. We want to see as much biodiversity and life in the vineyard. If I was a grapevine, this is where I'd want to be. So this is 2019 Gladysdale Chardonnay.
I think it's delicious. It's really, really fresh. It tastes to me like the sunshine feels. What of the land is coming through in this glass?
That it's quite gravelly and really fine, chalky tannins. That's the soil.
That's
talking right there.
When would you drink this one?
About 8:30 in the morning. Cheers.
You don't have a cellar door, you have a cellar wine room and restaurant.
The bar is in Healesville and it's a nice central point to experience the Yarra.
We're at the Graceland Wine Room in Hillsville. It's the cellar door for Mac Forbes, and on a Friday and Saturday night we're running as a bistro as well.
So what am I going to be eating?
You're going to be eating some beautiful Yeringberg lamb from just down the road. We've got some radishes from Timborough Farm, and we have some nice organic beetroots which we've turned into a little beetroot tartare.
I think this tasting idea and being totally analytical is overblown. We want a space where people can come and sit down and they can drink wine, they can have some food, and it's something that feels like home, and that's the best way. I mean, my favourite bottles are the bottles that vanish.
You've opened in Hillsville, which isn't so far, but why did you choose this strip?
I think it's the centre of the Yarra now. Food, wine, you've got Four Pillars Gin, you've got other wineries with cellar doors. You can travel around the valley and finish here in the afternoon and do it all by foot. And I think just being so close to Melbourne, people forget just how many great parts to this region there are.
So when we are professionally tasting wine, we usually hold the glass by the stem. Certainly with white wines, you see those older white wines, they get a little bit golden with age. Those red wines, those beautiful young Shirazes from Australia.
Today I'm in South Gippsland, which is around 2 hours from Melbourne, and I'm here to visit Andrea Moore. Andrea is an amazing interior designer, and she's also the owner and founder of Ross Farm, which is an incredible boutique accommodation here in Menion. So Andrea's going to take me for a perfect day in South Gippsland. Let's go. Hi. Welcome. Thank you. Andy, thank you so much for having us at Ross Farm, which is, of course, your property, your family property, and you're responsible for all the interiors. So how did this place come to be?
Well, originally they were disused farm buildings on the property, so it was actually my dad's idea to turn it into accommodation. It's a real family project and quite a labour of love. So we have a cabin, a barn and a dairy that make up Ross Farm. Each space has been designed individually but also to work holistically as one, so you can rent either one or all three properties on site. But we wanted to create a unique place to stay and experience. I wanted to link it back to the landscape and where we are. I've tried to use materials that kind of reflect that a little bit, but also create spaces that are full of atmosphere. It's been lovely to kind of reconnect to my roots and have a new appreciation for the area, for its beauty. Pretty amazing part of the world. There's a lot to love about South Gippsland. First of all, the community is really supportive and amazing, but also the beautiful landscape and places at our doorstep that we can visit. It's got a lot to offer.
Okay, so we're here at Moo's at Menion for a morning coffee. Tell me a little bit about this place.
So it's one of my favourite little spots in town. It's owned by Marty. He's had it for about 10 years, and last year we decided to do a bit of a revamp for him. Menion's a small town, but it has a lot to offer, has lots of great businesses and people doing great things. We also have a great arts and music culture, and it's a great base for exploring South Gippsland. This is Loch Village. It's kind of like the gateway to South Gippsland. It's a great spot to stop on the way down and have a wander.
It's so sweet. And what's this place?
This is Udder and Ho.
Awesome, let's check it out.
Yeah, cool. Loch is surrounded by rolling green hills, wineries and amazing local produce. And you can find a lot of that local produce at Udder and Ho. This is Waratah Hills Vineyard. I've been coming here for years. It's such a beautiful spot to take in the view, a lovely glass of wine or a long lunch. And we're just outside of Fish Creek on the way to Wilson's Prom.
Beautiful.
There really is nowhere in Victoria quite like Wilson's Prom. To me, it almost feels like a prehistoric landscape. It's just so pristine and untouched. The scenery here really takes your breath away. I feel so lucky to have these spectacular beaches right on our doorstep.
Not too far from where you are, there's a place where hills roll and where skies open wide, where the spirit of the land can be found around every bend and sensed in moments spent with local makers and growers. As the world begins to unfold once more, the treasures of our backyard are glinting. Never has the grass been greener. Never have such riches felt so close. Look again. Not too far. Can you see? Stay close. Go further.
When you get an amazing match with Pinot and food, the wine will enhance the food and then the food enhances the wine, and it's a fantastic experience. And that's what we're chasing a lot of the time. So
The whole Pinot package.
the whole Pinot package.
Can I try some now?
If you're ready.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh.
Oh, it's all right, eh?
Yeah, I'm glad you think so. What makes Victoria's Pinot Coast the coast with the most? No less than 750 kilometres of rugged coastline, stretching from the Bellarine and Mornington Peninsulas to South Gippsland. The region's wineries have built a global reputation for producing world-class Pinot Noir.
Sophia, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Great, I'm Mike. Welcome to Oceanía.
Thanks, Mike. So nice to meet you.
Yeah, great.
You'd never guess we're so close to the beach here.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Tucked away, nice and private. Let's go for a walk up on the vineyard, I'll show you through.
Let's do it. Mike, the Mornington Peninsula is part of the Pinot Coast, but what is it that makes the Pinot so special here?
So if you imagine the region's surrounded by water, that water's nice and cool, so we're talking 10 to 12 degrees, and the winds are coming off that water and acting like an air conditioner for the region, so it's bringing the temperature of the region right down. So that's how we can classify Mornington as a cool climate wine region, but it's a very unique character to have that, and that does come through in the wines as well.
It's so beautiful here, Mike. Everything's just so verdant and lush.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? The vines look so healthy, so that's a result of the soil. The Mornington Peninsula 40,000 years ago was an active volcano. It makes the soils very fertile here, so it's great for growing produce. We do great avocados, strawberries, cherries, all sorts of things, and then, of course, very suitable for high quality Pinot Noir. We should go try some.
Love to.
So we're going to try some Pinot direct from barrel, which is current harvest. So this fruit came in about 6 months ago.
And does that smell that fresh because it's come straight from the barrel?
That's really smelling fresh because that's the regional character coming through. So That cool maritime influence is making this a very delicate, pretty wine. The perfume is what the region does really well, and I think that's showing that beautifully.
What's the best way to eat and drink on the Mornington Peninsula?
Mornington's got some amazing restaurants, so it's a foodie's dream really down here. And
Any recommendations?
I've actually got a really good mate around the corner at Many Little who's got a ripping dish with Pinot Noir, so we should go check that out. We've come here to one of my favourite little places on the peninsula. We're 5 minutes from the winery, but a good mate, Sam.
You guys want to stick around for some lunch, and I might open a few of our wines as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Great. Garçon!
So he owns Many Little, which is a beautiful little wine bar that supports a lot of the local growers. And Sam's a great winemaker as well.
Where's your winery?
It's just about 2 k's down the road, called Polperro. You guys must be thirsty.
Ready to go, mate?
Always.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sam, tell me a bit more about the food here.
It's really about freshness, easygoing, wholesome, but above all, it's really built around celebrating the local wines from this area, particularly the Pinot Noirs.
And what is it about the Pinot Noirs that go well with your food?
It's the perfume and the spice and the freshness that this beautiful maritime climate has blessed us with. We've got a little beetroot tartare, which is from our Polperro farm, and we've got a little duck curry. It's the perfume and the fragrance of this dish that works so well with our Mornington Pinot Noirs. What's so special about the Mornington Peninsula is that you can leave one area, a 5-minute drive, and you've got a completely different experience. About 30 kilometres of coastline to choose from. It's absolutely stunning. I can't believe we're this close to Melbourne. What other regions in the world, wine regions, can you literally finish work and get to the beach? Be out in the
But
water
also
within
there's
20 minutes.
very few places in the world where you can grow Pinot, so to have that whole coastline with different sub-regions within it is incredible as well.
Thanks, Mike, for coming along.
Today I'm in the Macedon Ranges area near Daylesford to spend a perfect day with one of Australia's most renowned landscape designers, Paul Bangay. Let's go find him.
I've been up at the Macedon Ranges for over 20 years now, and I just love it because I want to create a garden up here, and it's the perfect place to create a garden. Like beautiful soil, beautiful climate, cold winters, lovely mild summers, and I just think it's God's country. Lucy, welcome to Cliffy.
Thank you.
We come here like weekly, every Saturday morning probably. We just love it. We love the atmosphere, the coffees, the breakfast. It's just amazing.
So where are we off to now?
We're off to Trentham to meet a very good friend of mine.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. So here we are in Trentham. I want to take you to Defumio. It's one of my favourite restaurants in the region.
Okay, amazing.
This restaurant belongs to my great friend Annie Smithers. It's important to me because she grows her own food, she makes it sustainable, and she's incredibly passionate about the food she cooks. Now Lucy, if you've got time, go over to Ascot and visit my favourite nursery in Victoria, Lamley. We buy so many of our plants there for Stonefields, it's just amazing.
Wow, okay, well I'll go check that out and then I'll meet you later for dinner.
At the lake house?
Perfect, see you then.
Hi Lucy, how was Lamley?
So beautiful.
I know, it's an amazing nursery, it really is.
It really was. Thanks for the tip off.
Absolute pleasure. The Lake House is such an institution. If ever I'm bringing really special friends into town, I always bring them here. I love it for its two-headed restaurant, its amazing accommodation, and its beautiful position on the lake. To me, this place represents everything that's so special about this region.
And this is quite uniquely, not just Australian, but
it's unique in the world. You know, it's something that we take across the other side of the world, and people go, "Wow, this is amazing!" And we've never seen a style of wine like this. They just can't believe the complexity, the depth of flavour. In Rutherglen, we do it very well.
3 hours from Melbourne lies Rutherglen, a town with gold rush roots along the banks of the Murray River. Here you can taste their signature style of liquid gold, muscat, and their modern twist on this classic wine.
Hi! Welcome to Jones Winery. I'm Mandy Jones.
I'm Sophia. Thank you for having me.
Lovely to meet you.
It's gorgeous here. Mandy, you're 5th generation?
Yeah, that's right. My family's been here in Rutherglen since gold was discovered way back in 1860. And it's just such a wonderful thing to do, is to work in a property that's been in the family for such a long time. This is a wonderful old vine that was planted in 1905, and you can see it's just about finished flowering there. You can just see the little flowers just falling off. And
so something like this that's really old, how is that different in taste in the glass?
So vines like this, they have this certain sort of X factor about them because they're really old. No one can really explain why. They have a lovely velvety density and just greater character and complexity that comes from being from a really old vine.
Look at these. How old are they?
These date from 1860. I just love these. We ferment all of our LJ block in these because they just give so much more character and depth and really give the wines a real sense of place. Let's start with rare Rutherglen Muscat. The base wine for this dates from 1922, so it's something that my grandfather has had a hand in. It's very, very special for us.
It smells really handsome.
Handsome?
Handsome.
That's a wonderful descriptor. I've never never thought of it as being handsome before, but that is fantastic. As well as having a lot of complexity from wood acid and the age, it also does have that quintessential muscat raisiny fruit which gives it a freshness.
Oh, lovely.
So this is our Coral Blanc aperitif. It's fortified white wine with botanicals added. It just makes a beautiful veranda drink before a meal.
It's beautiful because it's really sweet, but then you get the spicy notes coming through at the end.
It's very innovative for Rutherglen to be able to work with the heritage wines that we have and to be able to be innovative and make sure that Rutherglen has a fantastic future.
And beyond food and wine?
Beyond food and wine, there's so much to do. You can grab a bike, go for a little gourmet amble around the area, go to Anderson Wineries, come here to Jones's Winery, go up and see the wine bottle. We have this fantastic little trip where you actually have food and a glass of wine at each place.
What else do you love to do in Rutherglen?
I absolutely love to go to Thousand Pound. It's absolutely fantastic.
With the younger muscats, yeah, we're doing fabulous cocktails and really turning it on its head and having a bit of fun with it.
So is this a bit of a £1,000 signature?
Yes, it is. It's a hip sip cocktail made out of Rutherglen muscat.
Sounds good. I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, that's refreshing.
Oh, delicious.
That's an all summer drink for me.
Absolutely. £1,000 we started up because it was nice to be able to build something for the town that was about wine. 140 family-owned wines that we have supporting family-owned businesses, especially locals.
What's on the menu?
Tuna crudo, pork rillette, and we also have a very special dessert for you. Chocolate roulade. You don't like chocolate, I'm sure.
I don't like chocolate at all.
Hi.
Hi.
We were thinking of having a cruisy day.
Maybe grab a pastry and a coffee.
See some street art.
Maybe go to a museum.
Grab a gelato.
And have afternoon tea.
Any suggestions?
I still believe that we can grow Prosecco as good as they back home in north of Italy, if it's not better. You know?
Is it better?
Yes, it is better.
Yes! Good things are worth travelling for, and the King Valley, 3 hours northeast of Melbourne, is truly something else. The family-run wineries here welcome visitors with Italian hospitality, which means a kiss on each cheek, more food than you can manage, and of course, Prosecco.
Well, Sophia, welcome to the King Valley, to Sam Miranda Winery here at the gateway to the Prosecco Road.
Thank you for having me, Sam.
It's very similar to the northeast of Italy, which is where Prosecco is grown. The variety suits the climate, and obviously there's a lot of tan heritage in the area as well.
This isn't quite Prosecco though, is it? What's this?
This is a blend of Prosecco and Rosato, which is hence the pink colour. So it's the best of both worlds.
And much more fun to say, Rosato.
Prosato, that's right, you got to roll the tongue, Prosato.
Prosato.
Yeah, that's
Rosato.
Right.
It is quite dainty, isn't it?
It is, and it's very delicate.
But you would highly encourage men to drink this as well.
Oh, look, real men drink pink.
So what have we got here in front of us?
So this is our Prosecco platter, which starts with our Prosecco jelly, which goes fantastically well with the local Milua cheese.
I think I could just use it as a dip.
Yeah.
Would that be rude?
Yeah. Arancini balls and the calamari, which is again in the Prosecco beer batter.
And now, personally, I could probably eat that whole thing by myself, but I imagine you're meant to share it.
Just as Prosecco is a light style sparkling, which is made for sort of everyday drinking, our food is designed around sharing and talking and family and friends.
We're at the gateway to Prosecco Road.
We're at the northern end, and it runs about 40 kilometres due south from here. I mean, it is a true valley in the sense that there's mountains at the far southern end, and then a pristine river runs through the middle. It's all about just coming to the region, enjoying the different offerings each winery has at the cellar doors, and obviously our different Prosecco styles. Salute.
Salute. Hey, how are you going?
Good, thanks. How are you? I'm Michael from Del Zotto.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise, welcome to the King Valley.
This is not a bad spot. Have you had the Prosecco vines for long?
We've had the Prosecco vines planted here for 20 years, and it's something Dad always dreamed of doing here in Australia, and that dream was realised in 1999. Like a lot of families in the King Valley, Dad and Mum planted some grapes, and then Dad started to make some wine just purely as a hobby, and it just grew from there. We're quite lucky. We have lovely warm days and cool evenings, and that really helps to drive the aromatics in the wine, so you get those lovely delicate floral characters, some nice sort of citrus characters coming through, and this lovely crisp acidity.
My mouth is seriously watering after all of that, and I'd say this is pretty much bang on Prosecco weather, yeah?
Anytime's Prosecco weather if you ask Otto, but yeah, it's Prosecco weather, yeah.
Shall we?
Let's go.
All right.
Otto, meet Sophia.
Hi.
Hi, Sophia.
How are you?
Welcome to the Del Zotto table. When you grew up with a bottle of Prosecco on the table, and here in Australia there was no Prosecco there, and I was really miss it.
Did you ever imagine that it was going to be so popular in Australia?
The people in Australia, they really embrace the Prosecco very well. They really enjoy it. I love it. Because Prosecco's got a nice, it's a nice feeling even when you're drinking it, quite soft, smooth, so gentle on your palate, and you can drink it from morning to night.
Is that what you did at home growing up, morning to night?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Salute.
Evviva.
It's beautiful. It tastes like crunchy, crisp apples to me, and I couldn't think of a better place to be enjoying it than in the King Valley with the originals, the Del Zotto family themselves. So thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Not too far from where you are, there's a place where the river meanders and the crimson skies intensify at every bend, where the energy of the region can be felt in your bones and the land's rich history breathes through the trees. As the winding serpent nourishes the earth, makers and growers harvest and create, igniting your senses and feeding your soul. Look again. Not too far. Can you see? Stay close. Go further.
So you've got the really, really old history dating back to the geology of the land, and then you've got that gold rush era as well coming through.
Yeah, and the Ned Kelly era. It was big Ned Kelly country through here.
Was Ned a wine drinker? Do we know?
I don't think so. I think he would have been stout.
Stout, yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, well, he's lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Sophia. I'm Mel.
Nice to meet you,
Welcome
Mel.
to Sutton Grange. Thanks for coming out.
This place is amazing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it? This is the best time of year too.
Where are we? Where are we exactly?
We are, Sutton Grange is right down the bottom of the Bendigo wine growing region at the heart of Shiraz Central. And our little farm is nestled on the foothills of Mount Alexander, which is just behind you there. We have about 6 different varieties grown on this farm, but most of it is Shiraz.
You've got the mountains, it's really hilly. Can you actually see the difference in the soil?
Yeah, very much so. I'll show you. Our soil is the decomposed granite from Mount Alexander that over millennia has decomposed into this lovely sort of light soil, high in minerality and really low in nutrient. You can see that kind of rocky part to the soil here. Really great for growing Shiraz.
And is that what the area and the vineyard is famous for?
Yes, definitely. And there's other little sections of Shiraz Central that have a similar soil type, like the Grampians. So they're really quite a unique terroir to grow Shiraz.
How does that minerality translate to the glass? Can you taste it?
I think you can. I think it gives you this really lovely granite, graphite energy to the mid-palate. So it's not a flavour per se, but more a feeling, I think, to the Shiraz.
And wine's all about feeling.
Absolutely. So yeah, if we go to Celador, I can show you some of the wines.
That sounds like a great plan.
Let's do it.
What's the difference between Shiraz and Syrah?
The rest of the world calls Shiraz Syrah, but we in Australia call it Shiraz.
So it's Aussie?
It's Aussie. Sometimes people will use the word Syrah to give you a style. So maybe Syrah is more medium-bodied, more spicy, whereas sometimes with Shiraz, you think about the big, muscular wines from the warmer climates of Australia. Fairbanks Shiraz has always been about the spiciness, the freshness, the crunchiness of Shiraz from around this part of the world.
Oh, gorgeous. So this is what you would call a slurpy derpy wine.
Smooth, drinkable, enjoyable is exactly what that wine's all about. We were talking about the soil out in the vineyard. This is granite. The estate wine really expresses the granitic energy and tension that you get when you grow Shiraz in granite.
So this is the one that you take home to impress the parents?
Absolutely, yeah. It's something that you don't really also want to share. If it was me, I'd just crack it with my husband, enjoy it with a roast, you know.
Mel, thank you so much for having me and giving me a tour of the land and this beautiful property. But there's so much more to this region. Are there other bits and pieces that you'd like to do, see, explore?
One of my favourite places to go is Kyneton, a little town just south. There's a couple of great places to eat and drink there, but probably my favourite is Fuxing, really fun little Asian eatery in a pub. Lots of delicious local wine, but really yummy cocktails as well.
So welcome to Kyneton.
Oh, thank you. So this is a nice Fuxing welcome.
Yes, so that's an Asian daffodil cocktail. So lychee inspired gin based.
Where does the name Fuxing come from?
Yeah, so Fuxing was an amazing character around in the gold rush era. So he was employed as a plainclothes detective by the colonial government. There was obviously a lot of Chinese on the goldfields during the gold rush era, and we wanted to bring a character to life that sort of drew all of the aspects of the historic hotel, the gold rush, and also bringing modern Asian cuisine into an old pub.
What are we eating today?
So we're having the smoked pork sausage with seared scallop, Port Arlington mussels, chilli jam, lemongrass and holly basil. And then we're going to finish with a star anise braised beef and that's actually a perfect dish to match with the Sutton Grange Syrah or a Central Victorian soft Shiraz.
Okay, I feel the saliva just rushing to the top of my tongue. That sounds amazing.
Great.
Cheers.
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 In 2009, Taylor's Wines had just completed life cycle analysis on our 80 acres range for carbon neutrality. And we thought to ourselves, how could we work with those learnings from that work and spread them out to the greater community? We formulated a community group, and from there we looked to enact elements of a local government plan that was established in the year 2000. We started in Auburn, had another project in Watervale, also on Martindale Hall land holdings, where we sought to get out some of the noxious weed and growth and replant with native vegetation. We selected plant species that were appropriate for the area and went about rejuvenating the vegetation in these key areas. It's been great for the community. It's got people together, and Taylor's put in equipment and some of our workers were involved, and we've had great results. The revegetation has taken off and we're getting a lot of natural bird life and animal life back to the area and opening up corridors of native vegetation.
Today I'm in beautiful Melbourne, which is my hometown, but I'm excited to explore a different side of the city. I'm meeting food writer, TV presenter and judge of MasterChef Australia, Melissa Leong, who's going to take me for a guided tour of her perfect day in Melbourne. Hey, how are you?
The NGV is one of my favourite places in the city, and while it's known for its big international shows, I actually really like exploring some of these lesser known rooms that aren't necessarily in the spotlight. This is the NGV salon, and it has the most incredible atmosphere in here. Kind of feels like you could be in Europe, except that you don't have to leave home.
Okay, next up, we've got to do lunch. Let's go.
Okay, so of course I had to take you to Tipo. If there's anywhere that you're going to go and have pasta in Melbourne CBD, it's going to be here. It's absolutely full of atmosphere from lunch through till dinner, and it's just such a fun place just to pull up a pew and have a glass of wine and a bowl of pasta.
Amazing, can't wait for lunch.
Yeah. Okay, so that's lunch done, and while we're in this part of the neighbourhood, I think it's time for a bit of shopping. What do you think?
Okay, I'm going to let you lead the way.
Awesome. What I love about Melbourne is that no matter what you're into, there's something for you and a place for you in this town. So whether or not you're into art or fashion or theatre or music or, or sport, you will find your people and your place.
Well, I love Australian fashion, and Emporium Melbourne is a one-stop shop for so many local labels all under one roof. There are so few places that deserve the title of institution, but I feel like Ballerina really does deserve that. It's been around for such a long time, and it's synonymous with, great food, great Latin-inspired snacks, great drinks, and of course, wonderful service. And I think no matter what's going on in life, there's always time for that. There's no getting around the fact that it's been a crazy time in the world. But the thing about Melbourne is there's always something happening. Whether or not it's a new bar or restaurant or an old bar or restaurant, art exhibition, event or performance, Melbourne really is a city that is forever evolving.
Australia. Whoever came up with this place deserves a real pat on the back. I mean, think about it. There are birds who can laugh, mammals who can sing, waterfalls that can fall both ways, and 126 different shops that all reckon they sell the world's best pie. There are walls that can tell stories, cities that start where the waves end, and there's a lot of nothing, which is actually really something. You've got rivers that can wash your worries away, bush that knows how to bounce back. I heard about places where you can fly, kayak or wade to lunch and get served a delicious beverage by a guy called Jeff. I mean, I don't know if that's his actual name, but gee, that sounds like a pretty incredible day. This is a place that took a look at the rulebook and said, nah, here's a platypus. You know the most incredible thing of all? A holiday here this year is exactly what this place and all of us needs. So get out there for Australia.